What's up, YouTube? I'm back at you with another video. And in this video, I'm going to give my prediction for the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Auburn Tigers matchup. The Deep South, oldest rivalry. Very, very good game every year. A lot of people tune into this matchup, especially in the SEC. And we'll just get into the stats of the game. Of course, you got the Georgia Bulldogs. They have Carson Beck as the quarterback. Um, this is his first season starting, and we'll give off his stats. This is a guy that's played behind Stetson Bennett, and so far he's done pretty well. He's thrown for 1,184 yards. He has a completion percentage of 72.7, which is really, really good. He's thrown 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. This guy, um, the offense at times they sputtered, but Georgia does have some guys that's injured, especially on the O-line, so you would think, once they get some of these guys back, the O-line will be more consistent. But Carson Beck has done a phenomenal job. He has his bumps, at times, but for the most part, he's carried this Georgia team. Dejon Edwards, the leading rusher for the Georgia Bulldogs. He has 184 yards on the season, has 3 touchdowns. Like I said, part of the reason why the offense is, kind of been lackluster at times. They're missing some guys, but once they get those guys back, I expect Georgia to move and, operate like how they normally operate. They're still a talented team, and they're very deep at their position as well. It just, we're accustomed to seeing their run game, be a lot better than what it is. But it's going to be the next guy up until, they get the other guys coming in. Kendall Milton, he only has 96 yards on the season. He has a touchdown. Roderick Robinson, he has 2 touchdowns. Dylan Bell, wide receiver, he's been in the backfield. He has 2 touchdowns. So Georgia's, like I said, talented. Even Carson Beck himself has 2 touchdowns. So this guy can run the ball in if he has to, in Carson Beck. And he got some great talented running backs behind him, to help move that offense. Wide receiver, the leading receiver, Brock Bowers. This guy's a beast of a player. He has 256 yards on the season with 2 touchdowns. You would be accustomed to seeing, Georgia, like I said, get more production out of their offense. But the guys are there. They just got to put it all together for this season, and they're going to be really, really good. They got Jack Saint, wide receiver, Dominic Lovett. I mean, they got some guys out there. Mikal Muse, a lot of great players. And Georgia's just ready to explode, offensively. And so far, like I said, struggling in some games at first, in the first half, but always pick it up in the second half. You would like to see a more consistent Georgia team dominate, coming out of the first half. But a lot of teams in the college football right now is kind of lackluster in the first quarter of these games and stuff like that. So, but Georgia will be just fine, I'm pretty sure, once they get the guys. Defensively, still a good defense. In my opinion, Georgia's defense is not playing up to their standard like how they have the last 2 years, but nevertheless, they're still a really, really good team. They only have 5 sacks on the season, so you would like, for Georgia to have more sacks coming in, especially compared to other SEC teams in the league. They have more sacks than they do, but they'll definitely pick it up. Talented team. They got a lot of guys. Tyke Smith, he has 15 tackles on the season. Smell Munden, he has 14 right behind him. Kamari Lassiter, he has 9 total tackles. Like I said, a lot of pass defended. They got about 7 pass defendeds. They have 7 interceptions. That secondary for Georgia is really, really good this season. Definitely got some guys back there that's really, really good. But just all over the field defensively, Jamon Dumas Johnson, this is a guy that's a great player as well. So Malachi Starks, beast of a player. This guy, you do not want to pass on his side of the field. Really, really good player. But Georgia's talented from top to bottom. And in these last couple of years, Georgia's just had Auburn's number. Going into this matchup. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do because they're going on the road, to Auburn, to Jordan Hare. And Auburn has in the past had luck, playing at home against Georgia. So it's going to be interesting. But Georgia has won majority of the matchups. Now Auburn, they have a transfer quarterback in Peyton Thorne from Michigan State that came in. So far, he's thrown for 561 yards. He has a completion percentage of 65.3. He has 4 touchdowns, but he has 3 interceptions. He's gotten off to a rocky start. In their last matchup against Texas A&M, Hugh Freeze decided to take him out and put Robbie Ashford in there. Robbie Ashford, talented, athletic guy, but is not the best at passing down the field. So if you're an Auburn fan, you probably kind of worried that that maybe Hugh Freeze was trying to get a rhythm going offensively, but to be able to take out Peyton Thorne, that was kind of make you uneasy if you're an Auburn fan. But Peyton Thorne came in, very decorated quarterback at Michigan State. But he would definitely like to clean up the turnovers, and definitely get the Auburn passing game going. Now, in their matchup against Texas A&M, from what I've seen, the running game looked really, really good at first. Jaquez Hunter, one of the best running backs in the league, 143 yards, got 1 touchdown. Amari Austin, he has 131 yards and a touchdown. Peyton Thorne, he's ran it in twice, so he can run the ball. But the best runner out of the, as far as running the ball is Robbie Ashford. He has 101 yards for 4 touchdowns. So that's his gift, run the ball. You got Peyton Thorne, that's supposed to be the guy that's better at passing the ball, but definitely got to clean up on the turnovers. At wide receiver, Auburn has Jay Fair. He has 184 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. He's the leading receiver. They also have Shane Hooks. He has 106 yards and a touchdown. They also have Rivaldo Fairweather, the tight end, who has 101 yards and a touchdown. So they're probably going to be leaning on Jay Fair at wide receiver, and Jaquez Hunter and Damari Austin and Robbie Ashford throw it in there. The Auburn run game, they're probably going to have to try to set up, the pass with the run, in this matchup. Defensively, Auburn's not that bad defensively, So far they got 10 sacks, and that's what I was saying. Georgia only has 5. Georgia, you would expect to have more sacks than what they have, but Auburn at this point in time has 10 sacks on the season. Played games like Cal, UMass, of course, you expect teams to get, sacks like that against teams, inferior teams. But at this point in time, Auburn has the more sacks. Defensively, they're not too bad. Leading tackler is Eugene Asante. He has 28. He has 2 sacks. He also has 1 pass defended. So this Auburn defense, they brought in Ron Roberts, a guy that, speaks a lot about, creating havoc on defense and havoc rate. And the Auburn defense looks really, really good. Last season, Auburn defense wasn't elite at all, gave up a lot of yards. But so far, Auburn has done a phenomenal job with Ron Roberts as the defensive coordinator. Now, offensively, they still have, they have Philip Montgomery, really, really good offensive coordinator. We all know he's, been credited for Robert Griffin the third. So he can definitely get this Auburn offense going. Just got to get some things fixed with Peyton Thorne. But this is going to be a good matchup, on both sides of the ball. And I'm going to read off some more stats on the matchup. Okay, Georgia is averaging 496 yards a game. Auburn's only managing 371. So Georgia has the edge in that. Like I said, Auburn got to get a passing game going, to keep defenses honest. Passing yards, you would break that down for Georgia. They're getting 337 through the air, and they're getting 159 yards on the ground. Really, really good balanced offense. Auburn, on the other hand, they're getting 173 through the air, but they're getting 197 on the ground. So, like I said, this Auburn team is a rush first team. In past, when Auburn's been a run first team, they've been really, really good. So they're keeping that, continuity with the team, and the defense is really, really good. So just got to get that passing game going. So as of right now, Auburn is the better rushing team between the two. Yards allowed, Georgia's only allowing 282. Auburn's allowing 298. So Georgia's allowing 195 through the air and only 87 yards on the ground. So Georgia is really, really good at stopping the run. And that's what Auburn likes to do. They're going to have to try to figure out how to run block against this Georgia defensive front. Auburn, on the other hand, with 298, if you were to break that down, they're getting 164 through the air and only 134 on the ground. Like I said, sweet spot, you want to at least get somewhere. I'm sorry, they're giving up 164 through the air and they're giving up 134 on the ground. So Auburn's good at running the ball, but they also are kind of suspect at allowing the run. And you don't want to do that against a Georgia team that loves to run the ball. It's really, put their bread and butter on running the ball. Looking at their opponents that each team played, Georgia started out playing UT Martin, Ball State, South Carolina. Had a kind of close game against South Carolina, but they pulled away late. And UAB beat them 49-21. Like I said, the Georgia defense still has some kinks in their armor. Definitely not as good as the 2021 defense or the 2022, in my opinion. But nevertheless, it's, got some things they got to clean up on that defense. But still really, really good. Auburn beat UMass, beat Cal 14-10. Very, very low scoring game. Sanford 45-13, and then they took a loss in the last matchup against Texas A&M 27-10. This Auburn offense got to be able to produce some points, and it's going to be tough going against this Georgia defense that's really, really good. If I had to give my prediction, I'm giving my prediction. I'm going with Georgia. I just don't see how Auburn can win this matchup, even though they're playing at home. Auburn hasn't shown anything offensively for me to feel confident that they can win against Georgia at this time. Georgia has shown me some things even without their best players on the field. And I just think Carson Beck may have some problems at first, but I think Georgia's going to pull away, late in the game. I think Georgia's going to get the run game going. And like I said, Auburn allows 134 yards a game. You can't do that against a Georgia team that likes to run the ball. And Georgia's I think, going to have a really, really good game against Auburn. I think Auburn's defense is going to play really, really good at first. It's all going to come down to how Carson Beck plays on the road. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is Georgia's first time going on the road this season. I think Georgia's going to have some bumps here and there, but I think Georgia's going to pull out on top. I just don't think Auburn has enough offensively to be able to keep up with Georgia. I think their defense is going to get tired, and Georgia's going to lean on them and play that physical brand of football that they play. But what do you guys think? Am I wrong? Do you think Auburn might upset Georgia? You guys let me know in the comment section. And once again, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.